Good evening and welcome to the joint special meeting of Litchfield Board of Selectmen and Litchfield Recreation Commission of Thursday, August 19th, 2021. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public input will occur no earlier than 7:05 p.m. this evening. The first item of business is Chaos and Kindness Recycle Percussion Back to School Bash event. Chairman Gannon.
Hello, everyone. Some of you are aware of this, some of you are not. A couple of weeks ago, I was made aware of a post from Chaos and Kindness, and they were looking to hold a back to school concert bash. I submitted our information. They graciously accepted and reached back to me. So what they were looking for from us is a venue and emergency services. We have two awesome places in town that we could do. One, Roy Memorial Park. Second one would be Sawmill Brook. And emergency services would be fire, police, and medical if need be. I discussed it with a couple of people, looked around, and we decided that Roy Memorial Park would be the better of the two. When we spoke with the police, fire, as well as a couple other people, they also decided that Roy Memorial Park would probably be the better of the two locations. Easier egress, the whole 9 yards. And when you look at the two, Sawmill is about 5 acres of open grassland. Roy Memorial Park is 3.7. So it's not that much smaller. Plus, if it's a really hot, scalding day like we had last Saturday, at Roy, you could at least get to the trees, get a little shade. At Sawmill, you'll be stuck in the sun. So what they said is they are looking for two things from us, a venue and the police emergency services. What they will provide is sound, lighting, stage, entertainments, and ticket sales. Now, this event is for profit. It will be open to the public. Ticket costs are probably going to be about $30. However, they are going to kick back 10% directly to the town, and they're going to hold off 10% and take some students out shopping with the band and the castmates. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Chaos and Kindness or watch the show. They're great to work with. They're fun, and they often do this to take kids out shopping with them.
And that's under-resourced Litchfield students.
That's something I'm going to look for more clarification. So a lot of this is obviously contingent on what happens here tonight, and a lot of the information and details I'm still working through. That's what I believe it would be under the Litchfield students. And if that is the case, we're going to work with 6 to 8 hours of hunger to determine what students will be going. But once again, the actual details we don't know because we don't know how many kids are going to go or how much it's going to cost and all that kind of stuff. But those details will be worked out. As far as the size, they mentioned possibly up to 1,000 people. As far as ages, it'll be all ages. They're drug and alcohol free, so they're a very family oriented band, and they like to have a lot of fun. So there will be no alcohol sales as well. As far as the date, we're targeting Saturday, August 28th. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday. The time, that is still to be determined. We're guessing about 2 to 3 p.m. until about 9 p.m. Once again, this is still very fluid. We're still working out the details. What they're planning on doing is having multiple bands, and then Chaos Recycled Percussion will be the headlining band. So I assume there'll be 1 or 2 bands that go on earlier, and then as it gets dusk and the lights come on, they'll take the stage. Food. I reached out to Litchfield softball and baseball. They'll have the concession stand open, which will be a great revenue generator for both leagues. I spoke with the Allen family in town with Wagon Wheel Donuts, and they're going to see what they can do to come down. Kaylin's ice cream truck said she will be available. I'm going to speak with the Scouts. One of our board members, Jeff Town, is actually associated with the Scouts. We're going to see if they could sell water. And depending on the number of people that we start, or the ticket sales, we could bring in some more vendors. I reached out to Lick's Ice Cream, another local town company, and they have a wedding in the day, but they're going to try to see what we could do. Parking. Troy has reached out to Dr. Jetty, and it sounds like everything should be okay to go. At the time, he said he did not believe it would be an issue as there was nothing scheduled at that point. And then it'll be a short walk from Campbell High School to the park. Handicapped parking will be available at Roy Park as long as they have a placard. And I'm going to line up some of my sophomores. We have a couple sophomores doing their sophomore project in town. They helped out at Family Fun Day, and I've already reached out to see who's available, and they will handle parking. Well, actually just gate access, and only people with emergency handicap placards will be allowed to come into Roy Park or emergency. Porta potties, we're probably going to need to have more brought in. I just discussed this with Troy. We'll see what we can do about that, as well as lighting and signs. We're going to need some lightings for the field, so when it gets dark and people start to exit, we want to brighten things up. Talent Hall will be closed to the public. We're going to use this as a green room for the entertainers. As far as COVID goes, I know this is always something on everyone's mind. As I said, there's 3 acres of grass field. I think there'll be plenty of room to spread out. Staffing, once again, when I have a firm commitment on what they're going to have and how many people and what they're expecting, I will work with different teams to set something up. I've already, my wife is going to help. Judy's going to help. Jay and Pete are willing to step up. I'll make him work. Of course, my board is also always willing to help out all they can. Any questions?
Rain dates or provisions for the
No.
weather?
So what they're planning on doing that weekend is they have 3 dates, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're going to have 3 separate concerts. So they're not going to be able to have a rain date to push it off. If it rains, that's something else we'll find out. If it rains, it probably won't happen because you can't have performers on stage with electricity.
Insurance.
Insurance should be covered because it's they're co-joining with the Recreation Commission. We should be able to cover us with our insurance.
I would check on that.
Well, they'll have their own. I mean, they're a
Oh, yeah.
professional. They will have their own insurance.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
I know we have Laura Spector Morgan is joined us this evening. She's our legal counsel. And when I was talking to her about a subject matter later this evening, we talked about this issue. And I think she's had some experiences before, and just she wanted to talk to everyone about possibly having some type of written agreement in place between the town and Recycled Percussion to cover things probably like insurance and other issues. So I don't know if it's a good time for Laura to speak
Sure.
up or not.
Wonderful.
So I always want a written agreement, much to Troy's chagrin. And I think insurance is something that's really important to be covered by the agreement, and you're going to want to have it reviewed by Primex to make sure they're comfortable with it. But I am sure that Recycled Percussion would have its own insurance, and that would go hand in hand with the town's insurance.
Thank you for your input. Yeah, Recycled Percussion has been doing this for a very long time. I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with them. They're actually started off in Goffstown, and they just built up and built up. They went on to America's Got Talent, and they got a contract for 10 years in Vegas where they played over 6,000 shows. And then when they stopped that, they came back to New England, or actually New Hampshire, and they've been going around just doing a lot of charitable events. The company, I believe, used to be nonprofit, but now it is for profit. So I would assume they have all, this isn't their first time doing it. I'm sure they have all their ducks in the row, and all the agreements need to be in place. But I will definitely pursue that when I speak with the manager tonight.
So there's 3 nights they're gonna be on?
They're going to be doing 3 shows, but only 1 show in Litchfield,
Okay,
and that'll be Saturday.
this does the 3.
Is this the first time we've had a for-profit event at Bear Pond? No?
I believe so. I do not know that answer for sure.
It'd be interesting if it is, because if it is the first time, we're establishing a precedent.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be ready, to accommodate others who might come along with a similar type of thing.
Well, anytime we've run the comedy nights that we've run, for, and where we've got, or an organization's got part of the proceeds, that comedy club is a for-profit organization that operates it for us. So it's almost the same type of thing.
Yeah.
That answers that one.
I've got my historian was with me.
Yes.
And if it does set a precedence, it's a nice, strong way to start because they're giving back 20% to the town.
Be interesting. Oh, that's a cattail. I was wondering what.
And I turned myself on just to note that if you don't have a policy about use of public parks and whatnot, this might be a good incentive to get one drafted.
Thank you.
I wonder how many people came to the last concert that we had for Chaos and Kindness.
Oh, the one that was over at Mel's Funway?
Yeah, of course, that
A
was
lot of people.
That was a lot cheaper.
Unfortunately, I wasn't there. I helped, but my son's birthday was that day and we were out of town. But from the pictures I saw, I'm going to guess it was upwards of over 700. We had approximately 300 to 400 during the family fun night.
Yep.
And there was plenty of space.
My date, her pictures on the wall for that concert. That was my date for that. She had a ball.
That's a good one.
It was.
All right. Any discussions from my commission? I know this is a quick surprise to you guys.
What's the parking capacity at Campbell?
Jay looked that up. I think it was close to 300 cars.
Yeah, he made me guess how many it was. So I would say between around 250 to 278, maybe. I don't know. He was making me guess for how many could park at there and how many could park at Sawmill or whatever, but it's somewhere around there, I think.
Then just, I'm thinking 1,000 people, that would just mean there'd have to be 3 or 4 people per vehicle in order to.
Yeah, I would assume as well. This is more of a, they're very family centric. So I would think it would be mom and dad and 2 kids. So maybe 250 to 300 cars. I would estimate that that's something, depends if we get a full capacity.
Where they're selling tickets, it's not just when you get to Litchfield residents.
It is open to the public. I asked for if we can get a discount pass and all that, but because they're giving back so much to the town already, they really don't know. Even the price has not been set yet. So a lot of this is still in flux.
And are they willing to cap the most tickets that they sell is 1,000, or that may
Based
be
on
something to look
capacity.
at. Yeah.
These are all good questions. I will definitely speak with her about.
Because
A
if
lot
they
of
sell
I-
10,000 tickets, then we have a problem.
Yeah, we have a huge problem. And then I'll set.
Should we get a number from the fire chief, what he would think would be a capacity that we should keep them to?
Yep, we can ask that question.
On the outside, they don't deal with that. On the outside capacity on the parking.
Because he's in charge with the COVID safety protocol.
Well, that's not, I'm not thinking like that. I'm thinking of just the capacity, how you calculate it.
Right, I'm just saying with COVID and all the restrictions.
We have a plan here in town, shows all the parking. And even the expanded part they just did in the gravel area. And we can get the numbers off that real quick. Okay?
I'm just saying about, bodies on the, we want.
Bodies on the field?
How many restrictions now, right?
There's no restrictions.
If there's-
There's no COVID restrictions, so
There's
You
nothing.
get
So you're
everything's
okay.
been lifted.
12 to
Pack 'em in
13
like
square
sardines.
feet of space.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking for the
So
cars.
figure it
That's
out.
the biggest.
Yeah, cars are the
That's
biggest
the
thing.
answer to this question.
We get so much
There's no
more
restrictions for
at
COVID
Campbell
now.
than we would have down at Sawmill too.
There's no
Yes.
restrictions on limit of people for COVID. We did away with that a few months ago.
Steve, what are they setting the hours for the show? So that was-
That's still, as I said, a lot of the stuff I can only talk to her to so much because she really didn't want to engage me unless we had a firm commitment. The hours said late afternoon, and I'm guessing till about 9 p.m. It sounds like there'll be 3 bands, recycled, or more, at least 2. Recycled Percussion will be the headliners. I don't expect them to go on stage because they're going to have lights until probably the nightfall until dusk.
About 8. Yeah.
But indications are, I'm thinking it's going to be 2 to 3 p.m. till about 9 p.m.
Piggybacking on family fun night, mosquitoes got
We're gonna have to spray
Yeah, we need to.
because it was bad. As soon as it became dusk, they came out
Yeah, and the lights turned
in
on.
droves.
I'll keep the numbers down.
What about dogs? Charge the mosquitoes.
What's the ordinance in the parks for dogs
Oh,
from a rec standpoint?
dogs are not allowed on the fields themselves. Well, are they?
They have to be under control.
Under control, on a leash, in
No, just under control.
under control.
We talking
Yeah,
about the dogs or
That
people?
was the second point at one point. As long as they're under the owner's control, they can be on the field.
But if there's an event like this, with a lot of people running around,
Make a
you may
special
want to limit
exception.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
we
Say
don't
on
need,
I would say on a leash for a special event, for sure.
or no pets
There's
at
no
all.
doubt.
Yeah.
I don't even think they'd be there. You don't have to bring a dog to a show.
Mhm.
He's not gonna like the music.
You say money coming back to the town, is there a sense of where that would be? Are they thinking recreation, drawing fund, another account, the schools, or?
So what they said is, we're going up, say there's 1,000 people, tickets are $30 a ticket, that's $30,000. That would be 10%, $3,000 right back to the town. 10%, $3,000 to take children's school shopping.
Yeah, but he's wondering where that 3,000 would go to. Like, would it go into Rex coffers?
That's something we did discuss. Off the top, will probably to cover any expenses that we had, and then I believe we discussed the rest would go into the rec.
It'd be great to do some fixes of talent with it.
Yes.
It sounds like it's understood, but for events like this, I think this gets into, an agreement that the town reserves vendor rights 100%. So that we keep it to the if this is agreed to, that we keep it to our nonprofit groups in town and some of the local businesses that you've indicated. But you don't, if we're hosting this in conjunction, with recycle, you don't want someone coming down with a French fry cart from outside, or if they do, we've arranged for it and we've got some agreement for a percentage of their, profits that night.
I think typically what's happened in the past with all the vendors, they've been given 10% of the profits they made back to the town.
Yeah.
All the vendors so far that we've had, any vendor I'm dealing with and chasing now, I'm giving our local people first dibs.
But I just didn't know if they sometimes have their own vendors. come in.
That's another one of those questions. I'm going to have a long conversation with her. From what I'm learning and what I was learning quickly is if we provide the venue,
Yeah,
I
that's all
think
they
they'll
want.
take care of it.
They just want.
They want
the
someplace to
venue,
go.
They'll do the stage, and then everything else is.
Yep.
You thought about a shuttle bus to Campbell?
To Campbell, I think it's a short walk. If people can't walk, they'll be, they could be dropped off at the gate, just like at the family fun night. Or if they have a handicap placard, they can park it at Roy.
Well, I was thinking the same thing with a shuttle bus to somewhere else, possibly Sawmill can use that for parking as well.
I know in Family Fun Night, the fire department brought down the Kubota and they brought people back and forth who had a hard time walking.
So shuttle bus for overflow. If we go over that 1,000 capacity. Got 2 weeks to work this out.
We got plenty of parking out here too. People could park there.
Yep.
Good sized parking lots here.
Oh, God, yeah.
Any other questions from my commission?
Do we know what isn't there a noise ordinance at 9 p.m. or something like that out there?
As
No.
far as I know,
There's no noise ordinance that comes down to a certain decibel leaving the property line. We've been down this path once before with noise, and it takes a lot of noise. A motorcycle going by is louder than the noise that can leave a property. So we'll have no issue.
Yeah, and that's something when they come down, I asked the lady, her name's Melissa, to come down and I'll show her the field to get an idea. What I would think would be a great location is the stage would be set up in the parking lot by the batting cages, and then we'll just block that off. And then the noise would be projected towards the pond and the pine trees.
Keep the mosquitoes back.
We're excited about it. Yeah, we did discuss bug spray too, or not bug spray, spraying for mosquitoes.
You could, on spraying for the mosquitoes, we have a vendor. We're spraying this year, correct? The ball fields and stuff?
They do the spray program. I think they do the barrier spray when we have one or two sprays. So when you mentioned that, yeah, I thought we just reach out to our vendor and we can get one barrier spray, I believe, for free.
More recycle, trash or recycling.
Yeah, the mosquito.
Well, we have a dumpster there. We have a bunch of trash barrels, the lidded domes now.
Do we have enough? Yeah, I know they were
We should.
recently. So we're gonna get.
We
the
had
other
plenty at Family Fun Night, and we did a good job of staying up on them and just emptying the barrels as the evening went on.
So you can.
We do the same thing. Yeah. The people circulate and just empty them.
Maybe people with trucks in town can just, instead of filling up that dumpster, we can take them to the recycle center and sell that or on Sunday.
One thing we need to make sure the irrigation shut off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna get full. It says the bear is up there. You want to get off.
I can talk. Yeah.
Any other questions, concerns? All right.
We'd have to get a cost from the police and fire, what their cost would be.
Yeah, so what they're gonna do is the 10%
Yeah.
comes back. They want to use some of
So
those
go to that.
funds to start, you pay that bill.
That works.
So there's no hit to the budgets.
That works.
I assume they're gonna film it.
I would think so, yeah. I would assume they'll film the whole occasion. Are you familiar with Chaos and Kindness and Recycle Percussion?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I mean, I went to the last.
You're part of them. You're part
I
of
had
the
a
band
date.
now.
This is date night.
Yeah, I'm sure they will film this. I'm sure they will be.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you guys know the connection too. They had a gentleman named Roy that used to go to their store. So, and he passed away last year. So when I mentioned the two parks and I said one is Roy Memorial, she was like, "This has to happen. This is a must."
Oh,
Don't go there.
For a little touching moment. All right,
We won't bring the other part up.
ready for a vote? Tonight's meeting, we're gonna appoint Judy as a full-time member. So all in favor, please raise your hand. Oh, okay. It's my motion. Get it right down. I'll make a motion to allow Chaos and Kindness to hold a back-to-school bash concert at Roy Memorial Park on Saturday, August 28th, between the hours of, I'll say, noon to 10, actual time to be determined, with 20% of the proceeds coming back to the town and to the school children. Good.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, he's on the record.
We got 2, 4,
Yeah, he's a voting member of the.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
7. I had my back towards you. 7-0-0. Motion carries.
All right, now that the rec commission has voted for it, it's up to the Board of Selectmen on what we'd like to do to authorize the use of it.
I make a motion, we accept the recommendation of the Recreation Commission.
We have a motion by Mr. LaSalle's.
I'll second.
We have a second by Ms. Queenan. All those in favor, Mr. Larry?
Yeah, pending cleaning up the loose ends.
Yes.
Yeah.
The contract and all that. Mr. LaSalle's?
Aye.
Mr. Lynch?
Aye.
Ms. Queenan?
Aye.
I am also an aye. Motion carries 5-0-0.
Nice.
This should be a good event for the town.
It's going to be fun.
Is there any other business members would like to add this evening?
We actually have one more quick one. I'd like to make a motion to approve Litchfield Middle School, the use of Roy Memorial Park soccer fields for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. What's that? 23rd, 24th, 25th of next week, from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. for soccer tryouts. Could I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Motion carries 7-0-0. That's it.
We're done.
Okay, so there's the Board of Selectmen, we do have one other item this evening that we need to do. It's going to be a non-meeting with Legal Counsel.
What's a non-meeting?
Laura, would you like to define exactly what a non-meeting is for Mr. Lynch?
Sure.
I'm
So
kidding.
what you'll do is you'll adjourn the meeting and then we'll have a conversation. RSA 91A defines A meeting is a gathering of a quorum of any public body. And meetings are subject to certain rules, including notice, being open to the public, and minutes. In 91A2, it specifically defines 3 or 4 things that are not meetings, and one of those things is a consultation with counsel. It doesn't give it a name, so we've all just taken to calling it a non-meeting.
Okay, it's a
Thank you.
special with you.
Thank you. All right, so the Board of Selectmen is now entering a non-meeting. While we do not anticipate the need to return to public session following the non-meeting for any reason other to adjourn the meeting, we reserve the right to do so if the non-meeting necessitates the board taking action in public session. So we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Leary,
Second.
second by Mr. Lynch. All those in favor?
Aye.
Brett guys too?
Oh,
Gals? 7-5, so what's that? 12:00. We are now adjourned. Thank you for tuning in and
Thank you,
come to the
everyone.
event on August 28th. Thanks, everyone. Be well.